1. Welcome back to Between the Lines on Sports Radio 810 WHP. We're at Oakwood Country Club this afternoon with the Tiger Club. Golf outing here today. We had Andy Hill on a little bit ago. I know there's some golf sharks out there. One of them is not Coach Pinkel because he says he hasn't been playing much. Gary Pinkel joining us now. Hi, Coach. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Really good? Not been playing much, huh?
No, not a lot. Like, there's functions I'm playing like that. So, like, good teammates here.
Ever competitive in these things or not? You just play.
Oh, no, I like to win. That never changes, but, you know, I'm just don't work at it.
So nobody calls on your behalf and sets you up with the best players?
Well, I try to, a lot of these guys recruit. They do that pretty good. But I just kind of let generally certain people want to play with me, so I just say, put me who you want. That's
good. We said Andy Hill on a little bit ago, and you know, he's been around so long and doing such a great job for you, and he's talking about his promotion he's got and working with the quarterbacks and some of the changes. Seems like it suits him pretty well, huh?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I kind of look at that a little bit too. You know, like I was for Josh Henson too. You know, Josh obviously has been calling plays and coordinator offense. I look back when I was in Washington, I was coaching receivers, and you know, Don James called me, and we lost a couple coaches. You know, within 2 months we became head coaches. And I went from receivers to coaching the quarterbacks, which I couldn't wait to do it. Like Andy can't wait. You know, he's always wanted to do this. I'm very well prepared for it. And to call in plays and toward coordinating the offense, the whole thing, and just here it is. So it's a great opportunity for those guys, and they're good people, and they do a great job.
How does the change feel for you?
I think anytime, you know, we have so little change in personnel.
I know. Yeah.
You know, so that's you know, David Yost did such a great job for us with his 16 years. I've been with him as a graduate assistant, and you know, and so I think anytime you have that kind of change, you know, first of all, you got to make sure you replace the right people. Number one. But we constantly change things in our program anyway, as far as content, as far as offense, defense. Those things are always negotiable to make it better.
Are there certain things you don't know until you get into the game? When you have new coaches and you guys call plays, things like that?
Better not be.
Better not be, okay.
No.
It'll be very predictable at that point. You'll know exactly.
I think, you know, certainly, you know, I think obviously there's a lot of rehearsal that goes on with that. I think, you know, we do, Josh is doing a lot of play calling in practice, you know, and scrimmages and things like that. So we kind of built that in, and our offense kind of dictates that a little bit. But you have to have answers for everything now. There's no. Well, let's, you know, 3 weeks later we're going to be betting on this week. Well, we can't afford to do that. Right. You know, you got to be good right away, and you got to have answers for absolutely everything.
You've got some guys competing for quarterback later this summer when you open camp, and you know, one of the things I've really liked and respected about the way you coach, you've not been afraid to play guys that don't have experience. A lot of coaches just kind of get into a groove, I think. Hey, the guy with the experience is the guy who plays. Oh, you're the senior, you're the guy that plays.
That happens a lot.
It does happen a lot.
At a lot of positions.
Yes, but you don't do that. I don't think you've ever done it.
No, I don't believe in that.
Okay, so this really, a lot of places I would look at a situation like this and say, I'm not sure that quarterback competition really is open. I think this one maybe really is open.
No question it is. And it all gets back to having an experienced quarterback that's, you know, who has proven himself. Like a year ago, this time with James, you know, played a sophomore year and he threw 24, ran for 15 or what have you, and had an MVP in a bowl game. So he was an established quarterback, and he's probably going to get started since someone who's pretty lights out this mountain. It's different this year, and most of it was no fault of his. I mean, he just beat up, like no quarterback had really been associated with it. So, but you know, as we do consistently, we open it up to everybody. Matty Mock's done a good job. Corbin's done a good job. But you know, we'll make a decision somewhere in the middle of August. We'll make a decision. I don't want to carry this. It will not go down to the week before our first game, and even maybe a week and a half. We got to make a decision.
What is a true competition like? Do you find generally these young guys all compete with each other, remain friends? It's not bitter, they help each other, but
almost
all on one.
Almost all. Any time I've ever seen this, you know, great competitiveness. These guys are first friends. They know it's about the team. You know, it's remarkably competitive, but it doesn't get vicious in that way. You know, they have respect for one another, and meetings a lot with one another. And I saw James Franklin and Matty Mock were playing basketball in the swimming pool yesterday. So they weren't fighting at that time. So I think it's going to be okay.
Second time through the SEC. Yeah. Does it feel a little better this June than last June? I mean, you must have been sitting thinking, boy, everything that you learned at Missouri about all the teams you'd played, that's gone. I got to relearn everything. How much better do you feel knowing what you're into now for a year or two?
Yeah, but I knew what we were into last year. There was no. I mean,
even did you know all the ins and outs of all those teams?
Well, I think you obviously know teams better the more you play them. Right? But that, you know, but you do study and you do analysis, and there's no reason to go into any one of those games not prepared. I mean, so we hadn't played. You know, what doesn't matter? We've got to be totally prepared. I think I'm really looking forward to the season. I think we come off a difficult year like we did a year ago. It's unusual for us to lose, and so I'm real excited about getting going and working hard. And so the league was exactly like I thought it was going to be, no different. It's a lot like the Big 12, except it's got more great football.
I don't ask you enough about academics. You guys got quite an honor. Top 10 APR,
Yeah.
that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, top 10%. And you know, the seniors, our senior class, our last 6 senior classes, graduated 96% of our players. So that's real important. I mean, I appreciate you doing that, because that's, you know, I love to win, you know, but I just look at my team, my players, you know, for the next 5, 10, 15 years, I run into them. And I always tell them that my most important thing I have to do for you is you as a leader with a degree. It's my responsibility. So that means a lot to me.
How hard is that? How hard is the academic portion with young guys?
I think it's a culture. I think you got to establish kind of who you are, what you're about, and how hard you work at it. And we work it hard as a staff. We have great academic support people that do a great job and communicate well. It's disciplined. I mean, you know, if you don't go to class, you don't go to study table, and then you're going to have some, we call it awareness training, making aware why they should make sure they do those things. But, you know, it's we got a lot of good people trying to get that done. I'm very proud of it.
How much does that help with the rest of the university? How much goodwill does that put you on with professors and deans and people
Well,
like that?
I would like to, most people, we have a lot, we do a lot of faculty luncheons during football season, where I go and talk about a program I've been doing for 11 years. We used to have like 23 people there. Now we have like 250 faculty there and support people. So I'm always talking about what we do and what our program's about, what our system's about, and how we do things. And we have a plan like we do for any other part of our program. So I think they all trust that, but I think they all feel a part of it. You know, I think they feel that, you know, they're part of it too. We have great faculty, and you know, it's all good people working together, and mostly our players, you know, taking it serious, and it becomes a priority in their life. And for the most part, that's, you know, a guy comes up to you, for example, E.J. Gaines, about going out early, you know, thinking he would consider, he told me last year, our starting corner, all conference player 2 years ago, he said to the coach, I'm going to be the first one to graduate from college in Japan. I'm going to, and that's just, you know, you get chills. So that's, you know, I love winning, I like competing, and you got to do that to be able to help these kids and keep your job.
Right.
But that's important.
That's real nice. I've kept you too long. These guys paid a lot of money to play golf, and go have some fun, okay?
Great to see you at a Mizzou event.
Isn't this great? I invited myself, you know.
Man.
You know, I called Blackman up. I called him up and I said, I'm coming. They're building a gazebo at Oakwood. I said, I'm coming. They built a gazebo right here for us to broadcast.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty nice. So it's
Thanks,
great
man.
to be here. Good
I
to see you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Gary Pinkel joining